cold outside. Bloody hell. My hands are freezing. Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're talking about L plates, more specifically driving with L plates and how you actually get to drive one of these machines here in the UK. Today I'll be taking my Aprilia 125 around the roads of East Anglia, talking about all the basics you need to know to be able to get on the road. Without further ado, let's get going. So here we are on the road now, finally. It's been snowing today. I didn't know if I was going to actually go out. I was debating. Roads have cleared up. It's -1, I would say, today, so it's not the best weather. I'm going to be very cautious going around bends. But yeah, so I'm driving this with L plates on, past my CBT a year and a half ago. a year and a half ago. I was doing my A2 license at the time, and then just decided I didn't really need a big bike. I just needed a bike for work, really. So that's what this bike is really for. There's two main ways nowadays to get the L plates for a bike. So the most common, and the one I used, is getting a provisional license to book your CBT exam. And the one that isn't that common nowadays, well, it isn't really common, and it's not very practical because you can only ride up to 50cc, is if you have got a full driving license, and that was before somewhere in 2001. But again, that's only 50cc, so it's not very useful if you want to learn how to ride a bike on a 125. You'll still need to get a CBT even if your driving license, or you got your full license before then. So yeah, so I would say the most common thing for anyone that wants to learn a bike will be to go for the CBT. Now, I would say it's age restricted in the sense that 16-year-olds, well, you can get your provisional license when you're 15 and 9 months. But when you're 16, you can get your CBT course or exam done. And basically, for that year, you can only ride 50cc scooters, and it can only go up to 28 miles per hour, I think, somewhere around that. So it's not the most convenient, really. And then any age after that, so 17, 18 until, I don't know, 100, you get up to 125, which is this bike here. Right, so no matter if you just want the CBT just to do pizza deliveries, Deliveroo, Uber Eats, Just Eat, you want it to commute to work if you live in London or just work close by, you don't want to get a car yet, or whatever. I mean, the CBT would be for you. You just need the basic license to show you can basically prove you can drive a motorbike, and that's about it. But again, the CBT is also used to get the full licenses, so AM, A1, A2 and A, depending on your age. So basically, you'll have to get a CBT if you like it or not. Right, so once you booked a CBT, I mean, this is where I would say, in my opinion, my honest opinion, even if you are just going to get a moped and just drive around, again, I would probably go for a motorbike, just so you can learn how to change the gears and stuff, because there are things you won't learn to do on a scooter. So, I mean, that's my honest opinion there. I mean, you can just choose what you want. It's easier on a moped, but you'll learn more on a motorbike. So the exam, it's half a day, a full day. First half of the day, you're learning the basics of the motorbike. Second half, they take you on the roads. 2 or 3 of you bunched together, depending how many were actually eligible to go out. I think on mine we were 4 of us doing it, or 6 of us, and 2 guys didn't even get out on the roads because they weren't confident enough on their basic skills on the bike. So again, that all depends on if you've ever ridden a motorbike before, if you're familiar with the gear changes. Basically, it's it's the type of thing when you're learning to drive. If you've driven your dad's or mum's car before, illegally, it will help you. But again, I don't recommend doing that. So So one of the main inconveniences of CBT compared to the full license is that you can't go on motorways. So let's just come round here slowly, as it is quite slippery. That down there, it's blue if you've studied if you've done some theories already. So as you see there, motorway. I cannot go on that. So you're limited to B roads. I mean, pros, cons. B roads are nicer, aren't they? But at the same time, you get to places slower. But hey, it is what it is. The second inconvenience really is you can't take pillions. So it doesn't matter how old you are here, you just won't be able to take anyone in the back. It's probably a big inconvenience, I would say. But at the end of the day, you only get accessed for one day. You don't have to do any theory to get past the CBT. You're not really prepared to take pillions. I mean, if you've been driving a motorbike at 125 for many years, you probably would feel comfortable taking someone in the back. But it's just, you can't. It's illegal. You just can't do that. So why would someone want a CBT license instead of a full, proper motorbike license? Well, the first thing is the cost. CBT, it's cheap and it doesn't take that long to get. The full license, you'll need to do theory plus mod 1, mod 2. It takes time, it's longer and it's costlier. So people that don't need a full license, they don't need to go on motorways, they don't need to take a pillion, they just want a motorbike for convenience sake, commuting, or for basically working in the city, so that's your delivery drivers and stuff like that. You don't need you don't need to spend the money, and it's quite, as I said again, it's quite quick to get. Second bunch of people that will have a CBT license is the people like me that failed their full license and just decided to revert to the license they currently have, which in my case is a CBT. It lasts for 2 years. In them 2 years I'm just learning the basics of the bike. So I've had this bike now for 1.5 years. Now I would say I have learnt a lot. When I get to my A license, I will basically ace it. I want to say ace it, but at the same time, you never know. You do get some bad habits coming along, but hopefully nothing too bad. Something to consider really is the CBT is cheap, it's easy to get. That is, if you know the basics of a motorbike before you go, or at least a quick learner. If not, it probably will take you a day or two to get, as you do need to show some competence really. Once you've got your CBT, I would say the main inconveniences are you can't ride on motorways, you can't carry a pillion, and it only lasts for 2 years, so you're going to have to keep on updating. So at the end of the day, they're L plates. You're riding with L plates. What does that mean? You're basically a learner. Other cars, other motorbikes, they'll see that you're a learner. Personally, I would say that they try and overtake you as quick as possible. I mean, you're on a 125, so you can't go very fast as it is. But they won't take any hassle. The thing is, if you've been on a CBT for 10, 20 years, they'll still think you're a learner and you're incompetent, and they will try to overtake you. It is what it is. Some people are impatient. You can't do anything about it really. But something you can do is get your full license to be able to take them off. So what's my take on the CBT license, driving with L plates? It's great for people that want to just use a moped or motorbike to do deliveries. I would say, hey, it's cheap, it's quick, it's effective. Also, if you're eager to get on the road, you can get a CBT license when you're 16, as I said, restricted to 50cc, but it is the way to go. And if you want to get onto your first bike, you don't want to go straight to a, what is it, 500 or 1000cc, it's great to learn. 125s, they're great to learn. You learn the basics, you learn how to look after a bike. At the same time, they're cheap, so you can do, I mean, you don't want to fall off on it, but you can, I don't know, they're great bikes really. Everyone started with a 125 really. With that said, I'm almost home, and I'll see you guys in another video. Take care.